Hey. Okay. I think that maybe did it. Let's see. Let's see. Is the video better? Let me pull it up and reload this page. Yes. Oh, I needed to reboot. The number one troubleshooting feature in any. All right. So, I think my camera's a lot of focus too. It's okay. We'll live. So, wait, hold on. Let me pretend this just happened. Yeah. Like this is this didn't happen. And take two. It's not working. My stream button's not working. All right, everybody, welcome. Yeah, we totally got it right the first time here. We didn't just do that for the second time 15 minutes late. All right. And also my little switcher is not working. It doesn't want to let me switch scenes, so I'll have to lean over to do that, I don't think, right? That's not working? Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. Do I have to run that? That's fantastic. Okay. Yep, got it one first try. So, hey everybody, welcome to Binary Ninja live stream. I would love to hear feedback on if you hear any echo, because I'm in a much smaller room. So before I was like in the entranceway to the office, and now I'm in like this little tiny, we have a temporary office space that we're in. It's got two larger offices for like 4 people a piece, and then 2 like little small offices, and one of them, this one, we're going to turn into the stream room / conference calls, I guess. We're just gonna make it so people who have conference calls can join in. But it's oh no, what did I do? The camera's it took a picture. So yeah, so we moved office for the main reason was because our current landlord was gonna raise the rate a bunch, and we had a good deal, so I didn't mind paying more, but also our office was pretty old and kind of run down. It hadn't been updated in like 15 years. And so I was thinking, like, if I'm going to pay more money, I would like a nicer office. And so we found a new office that's literally 2 blocks on the same road even that we were on, 2 blocks north. So same walking distance to all the places we like. It's still kind of downtown Melbourne. Pretty happy with it. Has a nice view of a tower. I think I can... Well, whatever. I can play with the cameras later, but so yeah. I mean, you can tell. Okay, so you can tell that it's different, just like the acoustics. But I'll still probably put up like some like acoustic paneling, I think, in here. I think it might help a little bit. I feel like I'm in it sounds like I'm in a box, even just my own voice here. But all right, let's switch over to here. Oh, that looks not good. Is that messed up for y'all too? What in the world happened? Wow. Okay, so that's not capturing all of a sudden. You know, this is ridiculous because I actually tested everything today, apparently, except for streaming, which is why that didn't work. Okay, let's restart the capture card. And see if that helps. Yeah, the new office will be good. The space we're in now is so messy. I was gonna like take a handheld and walk around and show the office and even interview other people in the company to like, because we had like a whole bunch of people in the office today. It's still not fixed, is it? Hold on. Let me see. SG60. Deactivate. Activate. Okay. All right. So rebooting. Turn it off and turn it back on again. Great. But I think that's good. Yeah, so probably next time I stream, I'll actually I have like a portable camera and mics, and I will walk around and show more of the office. But it's a little crowded now because we have as many as 15 people in Melbourne that could come into the office if everybody was kind of in, but a lot of folks work from home most of the time. So most days it's 5 or 6 people. There was about 8 or 9, I think, out there earlier. Maybe only like 7 or 8. Just as a the kind of hey, we're in the new office, everyone come check it out. Claim your desk. So it's been a busy week, but we've also been working on the timing on the release too. So we're looking at kind of when we're going to do that and what's gonna make the feature list. So it's been all happening this week. So the short summary is we did bump, I think, some of the issues. Although actually I was going to look at this because, so this is our 3.2 release, and we're going to, assuming we get all of these done, which that's a lot of issues to close out right at the very end, but I think most of them are already assigned or like in progress or we expect to have done pretty soon. Like all the ones assigned to me, a lot of these are just documentation things, which are on a test branch. But a lot of this stuff should still be expected. And I kind of wanted to compare to our last release because I think it's interesting to look at the total like issue counts. So yeah, we're basically already over, which makes sense. This one was a little longer, I think. Actually, I think the last one was a little longer too. But we've sort of closed out a lot of issues for this release as well. But this being the Windows release, I think the thing I kind of wanted to sort by or look at is the impact, right? So I want to look at the high impact ones that these are the ones that are currently still open. And actually this one is open and not assigned. I don't know if Peter's working that. I don't remember exactly who's doing that one. And I think this one is already done on a test branch, or it's even done on dev. It's just there's some tweaks being done to it. So those are the only ones that are open. If we actually look at the closed ones, you'll see we had 23 high impact things. And like just as a general rule, high impact is either like major crash that blocks work I'm doing, or like a really kind of important feature. So this is usually where we get like our list of, I pulled up the old blog post just to find that link for all the things from the last release that were on it. But this top section, we break up the changelog into like major changes, and we try to do like the headlining features there, and those get like all the screenshots and more explanation and like more details about what's happened in that release that's really important. And then after that, that was a lot of them there. It's like other updates. So what per category, UI, platform, bug fixes, and these are like just a single sentence and linked to an issue usually that they have. So let's see. So yeah, so what we have now. Nope, wrong tab. This tab. This is our list of high impact bugs that are done. And so, for example, Windows stat canaries, that was a big one that I think, was it Peter finished that one? Yeah, Peter landed a fix kind of for that one. Or no, Glenn, that's right, this came with the PDB, the PDB one, which is another one of the big ones. So if you have used Binary Ninja with some PDBs, that's actually, I think I've got an NTDL, don't I? Let me see here. I have one somewhere. I don't remember if it's in this VM or not. I bet I could probably just Google like NTDL to NTDLL. Avert your eyes, children. Oh, I used to always do this for the actual file. I don't know if this still works. Index of, you find people who turn on directory listings. And yeah, that's still my favorite way to just find a random file. Oh, sorry. It's a good thing I checked the stream is not made for children. Maybe accused of corrupting the youth with that one weird trick. Okay, so I have plenty of legal licenses to Windows. So let's see. Do I have? So I noticed it popped up load options. Oh, right, because it was applying PDB info. Fantastic. All right. Well, I think we found our first bug of the stream. Hold on a second. Let me go get Glenn. He's right outside. Hey, Glenn. You want to see something? You want to grab a chair? The stream's working. The stream's working, but the PDB parsing is maybe not.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you can come in.
What's
You
happening?
don't have to bring a chair in. Yeah, it's a crash.
Did you put a big file in it?
I just opened NTDLL.
That's new.
Yeah, so open NTDLL. And so this is the part that I was talking about. I was like, wait, why is open with options popping up? And then I remembered it's because it's got debug
This whole
info.
thing got changed like 2 days
Yeah,
ago.
this is brand new. This is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
brand new code here. And so
I'll say barely even my fault.
it's barely even his fault. Okay, yeah, can you guys hear Glenn, by the way, too? Let me know.
That directional mic is too directional.
The mic might be...
Wow, your mixer is... Okay.
It's meant to be lower. Like, this is the one you pay attention to.
You're clipping like half the time.
Yeah, I should probably bring it down a little bit. But that's fine. All right, so anyway, the way that this stuff all works again changed dramatically in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And there's still like I think a pretty healthy discussion on like what's going to happen with it in the future too. It's still happening. Okay, they can hear you. Good.
I was actively working on it like today.
Yeah, like in your office, which we'll show next week when it's not so messy. We'll walk around. But the idea is that instead of yeah, exactly, Dank. It knows that there's a PDB and it's like, hey, by the way, you should load this. It used to be you just sort of had to guess or try and you would manually trigger the PDB loader. But now, and this is an API that was added a while back called the Debug Info API. Debug Info is meant to be for like Dwarf or PDB, like exactly for this kind of situation. Anywhere you've got extra debug information about a binary, it may be debug information in the binary itself, like Dwarf, or it could be external Dwarf, or it could be PDB, or it could be whatever. You could build your own. You could add your own file format to this. The idea is that you can have the ability to say like, oh, hey, by the way, check me when you load a binary view, and I'll tell you if I can give you more information with the debug info thing, and whether it's like an external file or how that all works. So that's, I have literally not tried this yet.
If you want to build where this works, it
I-
won't be through this interface.
I went through, is it on the, I don't know if I have test branches on this
No,
box.
it'll
I
be on
might.
dev.
Is
A couple
that on
dev.
dev? Okay, all right. So yeah, this one might have literally broken or regressed in here. So we can switch back. Let me try it again. I'll show you that. Just want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just does that.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Okay, so this is what we get for trying out uber fresh things. So we're just gonna switch back just a few builds. Actually, here, let me copy the folder. Ninja PDB. Yeah, I actually do this a lot, and I probably just because I'm a developer, I guess I like to do this. But no, I do have CI builds if it matters. Internal
Yeah.
stuff on this. Which,
That should be just on regular dev.
all right, dev cancel, dev. I'm ready. Give me a number.
Hold up. Try. My God, this builds channel is so illegible.
There's been a lot of yeah noise.
It's one of these. 3725?
Okay,
Try that one.
9 builds or like 3 days ago probably.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
At least it updates fast now.
It's so much nicer. Yeah, the quick updates are very convenient. I know it's in progress. I just want you to keep going with it. Yeah, that, and I think all of these also have the like restart hotkey where if I had a file open, it would restart with the same file, which is great.
Yep.
That's also quite nice. Oh, I just noticed. Look, Marcus, I have your test file up. Like I'm right on my recent list. Okay, so also my background broke one of my OS updates. So inside the VM.
If this one doesn't work now,
Then I'll send you that file. Yeah,
could be that file.
or the PDB.
What is it?
No, there we go. Okay, so
Did it actually apply though? How many types you got?
let's go look at the type system.
Alright, it didn't actually apply. If you
Now do I have to
Man-
manually trigger it
yeah.
with that? Okay, and so let's
this
actually
is
look
the
through.
part, this is the old behavior.
Right, this is so.
You don't want the idle one.
So the I don't. There's again several changes that all landed right that were close. One of the changes is Glenn has been working on the PDB system using, what was the name of the library?
It's literally just called
It's,
PDB.
it's the Rust library called PDB, very creatively named, right? Wait, dial is, oh, all right, I don't focus.
Yeah.
So basically wrapping this thing.
We have a custom fork with a couple extra changes. That's public. It's
PDB-RS.
Here.
Okay.
And then this is the master branch, but if you switch branches, there is one with more symbol types.
Oh, interesting.
And I have one pull request in so far.
With more coming.
You know, it's free software, so maintainer will get to it when they get to it.
Fair. Yeah. Wait, it's free software that like Microsoft people I think are committing to though too, right?
It's
Isn't there?
complicated.
Okay.
It's technically free software written by people who are not at Microsoft, but it gets the occasional pull request / convenient
suggestion.
improvement.
There might be some other things. Anyways, this is why we ended up using this libraries, because it is at least updated and maintained, and we can contribute to it too. And this also continues the sort of Rust trend. Okay, here. Does this PDB parser cover all the old formats? Good question. Like PDB 1.0 and
no.
even 2.0?
This, I think, only does version 7.
Yeah, it doesn't say here. Documentation on docs.rs.
I think it's probably the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to... That's just all API docs. I don't know if it's going to say any more higher level. Yeah,
And
which...
the interesting thing... Browser.
Yes.
It's not in the core.
This is true. This is actually implemented as a plugin.
This is a full plugin
But
that is built separately from the core, and then it's just a plugin. Like if you list your plugins directory, it'll just be there.
Derp.
Derp. I think it's just called PDB.
Oh, I'm right. A little slow. libpdb import plugin. Cool.
So this is done using just our Rust API findings and these crates.
I mean, but it's indistinguishable from core in terms of shipped by default.
Yeah, it's like one of our first party plugins.
Yeah, and it's actually in some ways better when it's implemented as a plugin, because it means that we're fleshing out the Rust API.
Yes,
like we have to actually use the Rust API too.
There were lots of parts that needed to be fleshed out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back
Does it
to
work?
Let's see.
You gotta try it.
Hold on, wait. It's just telling me what version is this? This is 2.7.5. Why is it?
Oh, because it's not the way.
I know, but I thought I'd turned that off. Oh, did it already update itself?
Ooh,
Probably.
well, just don't load it.
As long as I don't. Hold on. Does it say restart or does it say?
Oh, hey, there's that bug.
Restart tool update. Yeah, I totally did. Oh, the visual one.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, look at that. All right. So let's go back to plugins and
All right, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping it actually works this time.
Load PDB. And there was also.
Ah, yep, I know what this is.
I got a file. Oh, you know what it is then?
Yeah, this is the one I was fixing today.
Okay.
This is the part of the code that says to do. Does this actually terminate?
Ah, yes.
And right next to a recursive call.
Yes.
And,
I love that.
that's narrator voice.
Yeah.
No, it does not terminate.
No, it is not guaranteed to terminate.
All right.
So, all right. Well, let's
You can try
find
other files.
Yeah.
I have some that I can send you if you need.
How about user 32? No, what's a good one? Actually, I'm literally gonna grab just
And
a
in
couple
case
random
people are
ones from
curious
here.
what it actually is, it's the part of the code that figures out where all the unions go inside of structures, because Microsoft does that a lot, apparently.
Unions inside of structures.
Yeah. Lots and lots of unions in them.
What's a good? Yeah, send me in the audience if you have a good. What's your favorite DLL?
Here, I'll go through it.
Well, I just found some random. What could possibly go wrong? Rich edit 20.dll. There, that's a 600K file. Let's try that.
You figured it out. We got that some. More fancy comment.
See.
2-week group termination. We should.
All right. Oh, this is the. Oh yeah, it restarted itself on the new build. Oh, which means maybe that wasn't the part that was crashing. So let's try it actually. Yeah, let's see. This one might. Yeah, this one actually worked fine.
That one worked.
On the latest step, remember it restarted itself. So as soon as
Yeah.
it crashed, and I
Does
restarted
actually
it.
load though?
And it
How
well,
many types you got?
let's go look at types. 161.
That's more types.
That's significantly more types than I bet we'd have without it. That's a lot of types.
How's your function list?
Let's go back to symbols. There's a
Maybe.
fair amount, but not all.
If you check the log, what does it say?
Yeah. PDB found 1600 functions. PDB
Cool,
found
yeah.
data
That
variables,
means that-
one
that
type,
does.
and then added data variables from debug info. Yep. Hey, it's working.
Enjoy.
Secure kernel.exe.
We don't have secure kernel, but we do have NT kernel MD. Which
Secure kernel, no PDB on those, sadly.
I mean, the symbol server might have it.
Uh,
The symbol server probably doesn't have it.
I would expect not.
It would
And
be
also
fun
more
if it did, though.
more importantly, I don't have this this random website that's got their Windows System 32 folder. Doesn't have it in. This is where I. So you missed my trick of search for file name and quote index of quote, and first result is a page that
Oh.
had all the files.
That's really smart.
It's worked with varying degrees of success over the years, but it's a handy thing. So, but yeah, so secure edit or rich edit rather secure edit. Rich edit worked.
I like to do MSDIA. It's a very
DIA. Which one is that?
the debug info
Oh yeah.
access library.
DIA dot. It's not.
MSDIA 140.
It's not in this
Yeah.
this though. Let's try the power of index of again. Oh, hybrid analysis actually has it. It has one named that. It's probably not.
You have Slack on that machine?
I do, but it's faster if I just find it from some random website, which I just did.
That's one way to do it.
It's a VM. That's what it's there for. All right, so let's actually look through the options this time too, because I want to see. Yeah, so this is like a separate change. Yes, exactly. Dang, that's one of the main. This is latest step. Remember, because it crashed and then restarted, and then it got the update had happened anyways. So the main advantage of debug info and why we are porting both Dwarf and why PDB was built on top of it, this new version of the PDB library, is because instead of having to like open the binary, analyze the binary, then load all your debug information, and then reanalyze the binary, like why would you do that? You had a better source of ground truth from the beginning. You should only make functions where you have known functions at first. Do all that stuff, and then if you want to run a linear sweep and find stragglers, fine. The debug's information doesn't always have all the code, in such a way that you can find it. So it's like reasonable to still run it, but do the accurate stuff first. So that is exactly right. That when by doing this, that's why the open with options pops up and says, oh, hey, I've got some information. So we could, for example, if we had the PDB locally, it knows there's a PDB for it. If we don't give it anything, it's going to be like, well,
I'll go find it.
let me go look online and see if it's there.
It might only be in the regular setting.
Oh, these are also all new too. These, oh no, these are not. This is just the loading of those exception handling tables. Sorry, you're saying it's also in.
It's also in the regular settings.
Right.
It's not in the load specific ones.
Yeah, the load specific or the regular settings will have.
Make it go in there.
Yeah, and load options as well. All right, so let me do this. There's also a couple things like there's this defaults button now, and there's a couple other new settings that changes to settings. Like one that I just noticed, which is if you've done like say this bash file, if I Control Shift click that, and I do open with options, and I'm like, no, actually, it's this platform instead. I don't want you to treat it as that. I can tell it to override that, and then the next time I pick a different file and say like open with options, it'll actually be like, oh, did you want me to like use those same settings? It'll like use whatever the most recent open with options were. So if you're frequently opening the same type of files or files where you like do open with options a lot, it'll make your life a little bit easier there. It will also again, if I reopen that file later, it will reuse those settings if you've made like open with options changes, and it does it by file name. because I asked Brian that, right?
Yes.
In Slack, and yeah, he said it is file name. So I was like, oh, is it based on the file hash or based on the file name? So,
That one lower?
oh yeah, no, it looks great. Lots of, and let's go look at the types too. Yeah, so the types are going to be actually here, even better. Let's go back to the symbol list
This one
here.
actually loaded the PDB?
Yeah,
Look at that.
totally did. Lots of functions, lots of data variables.
Oh, the Microsoft one doesn't have any types? Yep, actually, no, that checks out. So Microsoft symbol servers, the public symbols, have been stripped of a lot of really nice information.
I mean,
Like,
it's
all
not
dang
surprised.
types.
It has types.
Yeah,
Like, page protected, like
the
these.
log, it found one type.
So, oh, from the debug info, where'd the other types come from then?
Those are
Like our type libraries? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. That makes sense.
So they strip. Sometimes they strip the types. Sometimes they strip the functions. They always strip the function parameter like names.
That's so weird.
It is very weird.
It's real. I don't.
And
Yeah.
they strip lots of stuff like the local variables and like compilation commands and all kinds of weird stuff.
I mean, I can see maybe compilation. Well, even that.
Yeah, it's annoying. Means a lot of functions, the only type signature you get is from the demangler,
Yeah.
and our demangler for Microsoft is, we'll call it, needs improvement.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a minimum viable demangler.
This will happen later, but
The fix for your.
cool. There's more settings to this.
Oh,
the settings
there we go.
page.
He just added these settings. If we go over to the PDB loader, these settings are also going to show up in
Yep.
the open with options in whatever the next build that goes out is probably.
Yep.
So that's the yeah. So this is again, this is fresh off the press. But this is one that you've been working on for most of this release cycle.
It has been a while.
It's been a good chunk of this release, which is but it's should be nice. And again, if it's the Windows update,
Yep.
we should have great PDB support. So I think that's true. Oh, so that's really nice.
I'm gonna go figure out why it crashes.
Okay, yeah, go have fun figuring out the crash. See ya. I like it when everyone's in the office and I can just go, like, if I see something, I go bug them and ask them to come in and kind of hang out. I think I need a second seat here and then, like, a different camera angle, and I can just, like, bring people up in person. I think that'd be fun. Also, my hat is crooked and it's driving me nuts. Is it anybody else follow that, or is it just me? Anyway. Okay, so let's play with all the other new stuff. And I actually have not even looked at a lot of these things. So all of these PDB options I haven't seen before. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, so some of these are off by default. Oh, well, this one I'm curious about. Just, yeah, okay. Noisy and not relevant. All right, well, that's the explanation. Not providing useful info. Yeah. You can have a relative path. And I think, yeah, so if you want to put all your local symbols in one location, and you can do multiple symbol servers. So you can specify your own symbol server if you have like one that you proxy through. Exactly. The hot seat, I'm not doing hot ones style, but I mean, it's not always blame. It's also the seat of praise. Yeah, I definitely put it through its paces, especially because basically the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be primarily focused on like bug fixes. Like I said, it was a major feature just landed. That new open with options thing just landed. There was a bug that I think actually YRP from Slack had also, that was the same one that the crash that I just found is the same one that Glenn was already working on because somebody had already submitted that. So it's definitely bug fix time now that we've landed a lot of the stuff. But actually, I kind of want to go back and look through the other issues. Okay, so closed issues. Wait, this is a duplicate, right? Oh no. That actually got done. What was the other one though? Hold on, there was one other high. Oh, I'm looking at the old release. That's the wrong one again. So here's, okay, yeah, this is the list of closed high priority ones. yeah, so automatically apply debug information that we just saw in action. This was just a real quick and easy binary view fix that got in. This is the one I was talking about. Oh, this one actually, I think I've mentioned, I don't know for sure if I mentioned this on stream. I really like this one a lot. If this is one that I misunderstood what Brian was planning on doing with it, and then as soon as I started playing with it and tried it out, I was like, that is amazing, and we should have done it sooner. But yeah, just the idea is that anytime you're like editing a file or looking around or doing something, and then you quit Binja, in this particular case, I'm going to restart and reopen files. And I'm not going to save the contents of the file or the database on the file, but oh, actually, I'm curious. How is that going to work with? That did. That's the same function. Yeah, so it will navigate you back to the same function view. Like it remembers your sessions a lot better. Just like by default now, it will be in the same state if you reopen a file, which is super nice if you're doing like the same kind of file over time. So this is one of the little, like, it's one of those like little things that as soon as you're done, you're like, why didn't we do this a million years ago? It's super nice. Yeah, this was just a small bug. Except if you were offline, in which case it was awful, which is why this one gets high impact, because it literally, if you were on either like a captive portal, like so some airplanes, it would trigger it for me, or you had a network that was doing like an offline network that did some DNS shenanigans, it would get into a weird state and like all plugins would stop working. So that was not great. Inline new strings, just a crash in PDB that's got fixed by moving to the new PDB library. Arrays of structures don't resolve child members. So was this? Okay, this is another one that Glenn, that was actually a while ago. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me go back and let's sort this by recently updated too. It's a better way to. Yeah, so this one here, this pointer stuff, the PDB support, it was a PDB related issue. Objective-C support, absolutely. So we've John worked on Objective Ninja, and it was available in the plugin manager for a while. You could pull it up even on older versions of Binary Ninja, but it's now enabled by default. So I don't know if I have an Objective-C. I don't think I do inside this VM. But essentially, you can, and this one is, I think to enable it, you still have to go through and turn on. All right, so what you have to first do is you used to have to enable this. You have to install the plugin and then enable this, and now that's done by default. It's shipped by default, and this plugin is enabled by default. But what I think you have to do is you have to change this. There's one setting. So if you're doing Objective-C, you have to change that workflow. The fact that right now, so workflows again are this feature that Brian built a while ago, maybe last year, that let you totally change the way that the analysis works in Binary Ninja. It's super powerful, but you can't like compose them. You can't have multiple workflows chained together, and you can't have like several that are kind of enabled and be like, yeah, let them all run at the same time. And so right now, it's sort of like an all or nothing thing. And he's working on basically making it so you'll be able to have much more powerful like multi sets of workflows, and workflows depend on other workflows, and load multiple at the same time. And so that extension to that is coming. But in the meantime, you just change it. You just say, yeah, like this file I want to open is Objective-C. And again, if you just like Control-Shift-Click or choose File, Open with Options when you open a file, you'll be able to choose under Workflows which one you want to do. Right. So I want to choose Objective-C, and then there you go. You can do it that way. So it's not too much of an inconvenience, but you do have to like manually enable it. And then, the other part that he's also working on is going to be adding automatic detection of workflows. So just like the PDB support and the Dwarf and that kind of stuff now will say, oh, I have extra debug information, ask the user if they want me to load, or like pop open the Open with Options dialog. You can do the same thing with the workflow. So the Objective-C thing could say, hey, I want to load for that file, choose that. So we're still, our philosophy is generally like we should just do the right thing by default most of the time. All those function names. Yeah, so like one things we'll probably talk about two more again because this just got landed. Is that's right. That's the bug. Yeah, well, that'll be fixed. I bet you by before before another business day is done. I bet you that one gets fixed. That'll be. I think he already knows what needs to be done for that. I just trolled myself by opening that same file. So yeah, having workflows that can basically choose when to load and say like, oh, run me, it's an Objective-C file, and just have it be automatic. It's kind of also on the radar, but even right now, I think it works pretty good. All right, make sure, am I in 3.2, close, sort by updated, right? Oh yeah, these were major features that I would say they're not necessarily Windows specific, but very high on the list was, in fact, yeah, 29 upvotes. This is super, super highly voted. Is splitting Hll variables. So splitting and merging are now both in Binary Ninja. So in the decompilation and high-level layouts, what Rusty's been working on, you can take a variable and you can say, actually, I would like to. Actually, I haven't even tried this yet. So let's find out where it is. So merge variables is right here. And to split, how do you split? It might need to be something that has multiple uses, which this may not. So let's pick, there we go, let's pick this. Do I split this variable? How does splitting work? I actually don't know. I don't see it there. Let's go back and look for it. Aha! As I expected, Rusty explained it. Okay. Oh, at definition, multiple definitions that can manual split at a definition site. Okay, so we need to make sure we at the definition of that variable we would split it. So I think is there a go to definition? I don't remember if that's a thing. It would be nice. Oh, I think you can do. Yes, yeah. Well, it would either have to have multiple assignments or at the very least, yeah, that's true. It might not even be there if it doesn't have multiple assignments. Which that one doesn't. Actually, I wonder if, let's just go to the variable view. And poke through some of these. And actually, I think oh yeah, there we go. So can I just do this? Ooh, I need to make a note of that. I am going to, I want to be able to hit enter on a variable in the variable view. Should do the same as double clicking. Yeah, in particular, it should navigate to the first instance of the variable, which is I think what it does currently. Actually, yeah, or maybe the issue is if I just select the variable, it should actually show me cross references from here. Maybe, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure what the right behavior is. Like, what is the least surprising thing? But we should see. We see something. Yeah, we'd have to actually find a variable that's used that the decompiler thinks is reused, which generally it's not going to, right? Which makes sense. So none of the easy ones there, but that one's, yeah. So thanks, SegBreak. That's a good point. So now both merging and splitting. And I think that's another good point. If I look here and I go to this search and sort instead by most reactions, sure enough, right? Yeah, so in this release, these were some of the top features in terms of the most upvoted ones. Part of this is like, for example, PDB had like 8 issues that were all closed. And so if you aggregate all the upvotes across them potentially, that was kind of a one-off. You might, no, actually, the other PDB ones didn't have as many upvotes. Just in general, they like had a lot of people, a lot of little issues that different people had filed, and a lot of things that popped up. So I think in aggregate, PDB is one of the most major improvements and had a lot of impact. But these are the ones by upvotes. So, and this is also a good reminder: if you've got bugs that you're running into, let us know and upvote them. Get your friends, vote early, vote often. We do actually. I mean, if we really saw something we were like, that's not actually important, we probably wouldn't prioritize it as much. But in general, we do like to use these and on this ordering to sort things. So just for kicks, I'm actually curious. Right now, all the issues, what is the most, all open issues, what's the most upvoted? Oh, right. And this one is highly important. This one is still in progress. It's already in testing and partially done. And real soon now, in fact, this is actually one of the reasons why we don't have an exact date for the release, because this one really needs to make it in, right? And so I've showed this on stream before, where if you have like a constant in decompilation, which might be a little tricky to find here, like here, this for example, right? If it's an argument, and I make this argument on a function, if I make that an enum, it will decode it and show me the enum value here, right? That's nice. But what if it was here instead? Like, what if this was actually the constant, you know, some Windows error handling code, right? It was checking if that variable was equal to that error handling code. There was no way to be like, oh, I want you to display this as an enum value and show me the, or like enum picker, let me choose that. So that's one that is, I think, yeah, and it makes sense. This is the most highly voted issue. It comes up a fair amount, and it will be like that's like the highest priority thing, kind of currently in progress. Shuchung is working on that one, so I'm looking forward to that one. I think that'll be good, and it makes sense. So that goes with my my intuition, and then let me see here. Sweet, yeah, okay. I think Split and PDB, like those are both very, very solid ones. In terms of like these other high voted ones, containers are actually coming next. So one of the stable release coming up. Call graphs, that is highly voted. We really, and like there's like, yeah, we should really have a better built-in system for that. It's not even that hard, honestly. There's actually several plugins. I like the call tree one. And so again, there I use the Control R. Yeah, so this is where it's, yeah, because I opened Bash with options before. Now, if I do defaults and I hit cancel here, that's actually a good question. I want to see if I reload it, is it forever going to ask me? Yeah, I want to wait. I need a way to like say like, nah, don't do that. If I don't change anything and then I close it and then I reopen it. Yeah. So that's let me make a note of that one too. That's, again, this is a brand new feature. I was just kind of playing with a little bit. Oh, well, I think Brian left, but let me check, because he was here and I was asking him some questions yesterday about it. But actually, I'm going to ask him, how do I forget if a file was opened with options? It appears sticky. I need to be able to tell it like I don't want to do. And there may be a way to, let's see. I could probably, actually, let's see this. Let's cancel this. Remember, no, what's the reopen? Yes, I bet it's this one. Files.restore, previously modified settings. Load options are included when reopening only. Okay, so if I turn that off and now I open Bash, no, it's still, yeah, I gotta play with that one a little bit more. I don't know the, I don't know the expected behavior or the workflow there. Brian's usually kind of thought this stuff through pretty well, so I imagine there is one. I just don't know where it is off the top of my head. So we'll figure that one out. And Kaitai did get fixed as well. That's another good point. I think that one, is that in the plugin manager though? If I can remember the hotkey for the plugin manager, Kaitai. I haven't actually used it since it got fixed. That's a good point. Let's kill bash. Let's restart. Let's see if I don't want to open up there. I did, too late. Move it there. I like opening up like an image file. Okay, so, oh, there we go, Bingy. So now if I open the binary bingy.jpg, so I can open this, and I think I don't want it mapped. I just want a raw one. There is definitely a setting that controls that. All right, now if I go to Kaitai view, is it raw? No. Yeah, Kaitai after there. Do I have to select the format? Okay, image, JPEG. Yeah, yep, there we go. Cool. Good point, actually. That's actually, I mean, it's not a major feature because it was just really fixing a regression, but it is pretty nice. That's also a good one. Oh, call tree, that's what I was looking up too. I was going to pull up that one. So now that I've got the call tree plugin installed, yeah, especially when you got something like PDB support and you've got all those symbols, like actually having the kind of call tree. I forget, I think it was Geeter or something had a call tree style viewer instead of like the call graph. And actually I'm partial to this now. This is like my preferred. Like, oh, where are the calls to read built in? That's a little laggy because analysis is still going. Yeah, so seeing all the incoming cross references, all the outgoing references. Yeah, I think you can control the depth default. Also, my VM is a little slow. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Oh, sorry, I just realized I missed your other message. So yeah, bit values and structs, we were actually just talking about that recently. There is like, I wonder if Ryan wants to come on stream and give his explanation, but he has strong opinions about bit fields and structs, and he was like, we should just not even bother supporting it. Rust is doing away with it. They don't even let you do it. It's not worth it. But there's still a lot of systems and a lot of platforms where that gets used, right? And so there's certainly, there's certainly need for it. I think even if it is tricky or hard, we gotta figure that. And containers, like no question, that makes sense that that's kind of like the top thing that's coming in. Yeah, if importing a type library like slow things down, I wouldn't be surprised if as we have better PDB support, as we have like the IDB import, which is relatively new, it came in the last stable, things like that, and we start opening up files with lots and lots of type libraries, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually find we've got to go and hit some performance improvements. I can see that being something we have to go make another pass back, because we haven't had this system where it mattered as much before that, because it was really just fewer types. I mean, the runtime itself abuses bit fields and structs. Yeah, I don't know how many people are actually reversing the runtime itself. Isn't the mono runtime itself open source? Yeah. Yeah, Valgrind, you were welcome to have that conversation. I think he's just approaching it from I really don't want to implement this because I think it's not where things are going, and it's so much work to change the type system for it. But we'll see. All right, let me go back. I think, yeah. So call tree, call graphs, that makes sense. This is actually helpful to go back and just occasionally make sure and be like, yeah, are we still on track? IL emulator. Just kind of made some experiments there. Did we link to any of them in the issue? Yeah, so we've linked to a couple of them. This is also an embedded yeah, so several of these are actually, a lot of these are very embedded specific and are already tagged. Wow, yeah, a lot of those are. So I think a lot, and then of course this one is, this is also, speaking of Ryan, this is in progress and I think should be done anytime now. He was working on it directly. So this is, I adjusted pointers or containing record. Like, I understand the concept of a pointer into the middle of the structure, but I don't fully understand this issue. I guess I just haven't done REF things where that was as relevant. And there's a reason I'm the worst dev on the team. But yeah, that's one I think a lot of people are looking forward to too. Is also for Windows. Oh wait, isn't this done? Make code is in. Yeah, like this came up recently. You can do this now. I can hit C on that. Like, you can select code. Like, I think that's done. Oh, that's great. I love it when I find bugs like that. Okay. We can close 1404 question mark. I think, yeah, that actually got done. When was it? I was actually like a while ago. I don't even think it was the stable release. Yes, Valgrind. I totally understand. I no, I my suspicion, and this is something that happens a lot, is that we have to like, there's sort of the right way to do things and to really implement it well and robustly, and then there's like, actually we could do it good enough and it will get the job done. And in particular, I think that's actually how a lot of like Ghidra's Bitfield support is questionable. Like, it works, but like the way it's done, it doesn't handle some weird stuff and it's wrong in a few places. This is at least what Ryan was saying, because again, I haven't done a lot of embedded RE, but he does a ton of it. And so that's kind of his argument is, I don't want to do it because doing it right is hard. And so the counter response is, okay, well then what does it take to at least get better support, at least get as good as IDA or Ghidra or what the other implementations are, and is that doable in a more reasonable amount of time? Yep, I like CloudTree. I think that's a great plugin, and kind of solves that particular issue there. What else? So I think that's all that's coming in. Oh wait, pointers to struct. This is literally just containing record, isn't it? Yeah, I think, yes. Okay. So this is the idea of, once this feature itself is done, then we could have the type parser can be expanded to have support for it. And so this is why Glenn is yeah, kind of chiming in with how the type parser will handle it. But I think this one potentially is somewhat landable. Actually, let me go ask him. I'm curious about this one. His size field should be a double. Yeah, it should be a float. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, and this is why when you make a lot of assumptions in terms of like when you're doing data flow, like that's all obviously a lot of this too is because we implement a full data flow system. To try to implement bit tracking on top of that is basically a non-starter. It would be extremely difficult. And I think Ryan has some other arguments. I need to come in and get him on stream one time. Let me actually see if he wants to come rant about it, if he's around, because I think it's y'all would appreciate that. And I'm actually gonna also ask Glenn about this one, because I want to take advantage of people being here. It's Ryan. Do you want to talk about? Somebody was asking about Bitcoin before. No. I was like, oh man, Ryan has opinions, but I don't know if he wants to go on stream. Okay. I might not verbatim say that, but yeah, I will. I have expressed the depth of your emotion on the subject, I think. Yes. The other question is, containing records has a related issue, which is specifically on the type parsing side. I think Glenn commented on. So Glenn, the question for you is, that type, but like you also said, like, it wasn't clear to me what that type parser is supposed to do with those. It's like pointers to members of structures on the type parser. Oh. The functionality is containing record, but also having the type parser support for it. I have a pointer to member. So like, it's just once containing records exist, and you're just going to be able to like add that maybe. Okay, I mean, it's not tagged for this release or anything. You want to talk about containing records? You can. I'm still turning. I cannot ask questions if thinking about. No worries. Don't feel like you have to, but it's an option. All right, okay. So I don't know if y'all can hear me chatting with them at all, but I tried to see if there's any takers. Um, the quote unquote diplomatic response about Bitfields was go to, and I'm not going to finish it. It was said with a smile, but again, I think the strength of his feelings are. Oh, I see. I'm trying to get them to. Oh, if you want to talk about fragility of computer systems, like my tweet recently was on that topic of like the fact that every calling convention for variadic functions is completely and utterly different per architecture gets me like it's obnoxious. So we got on the topic of like variadic functions and how they're spilled, like how the arguments do the arguments change? Do they spill in a different way? Are they just using the standard calling convention? But like you go to the same rules for how any function would spill, but based on a large number of arguments, like to the stack or however that works, and they just all do it differently. Is the bottom line, which I naively assumed would not be the case. And not only do they all do it differently, but like Apple was just like, yeah, on our ARM platform, we're going to do it even more different than everybody else because we can. We're just going to make up this totally different thing. So it's fun. Like, I mean, honestly, it is actually fun though. Like that's the funny thing. It's like we all legitimately enjoy this stuff most of the time, most of the stuff, and most of the time. That's actually why I like working on Binary Ninja. It's not we could make more money probably selling some business software or something, right? But then I would be bored out of my mind. So it's always entertaining, exciting. And yes, talking to Glenn, that this issue that we're looking at here was just like at some point maybe we'll get, because he's been working on expanding Clang support for various new syntax and other types of features to match it with the type system. Once containing records exists, then this could happen, but it's not really slated for anything kind of immediately. So, Ninja. The short explanation is no, we don't. Right now, Binary Ninja does not. It's not super hard to do that, and so it's something we probably could or should do. Part of the reason that we haven't, just because again it's one of those like debates of like how much do we do like this really robust extensible system, how much do we make a platform where you could, for example, add your own, because the problem is printf, the family of functions, are not the only variadic functions. There can be other types of variadic functions, and you only know about them if you like have some sort of knowledge about like what kind of parsing or how the function being called is, determines the number of arguments. And so in the case of all the format string family of blocks, it's like go look for all the percents, and you could do like a really lame job of that. And then you have to look for escapes and other things. And so you have to, there's some small gotchas, but that's not super hard. And then you could adjust the number of arguments. And I think the thing that's kind of been holding us up is like, well, we kind of want to fix it with a generic API that we can then extend in other ways and users could extend. And that's, perfect is the enemy of good enough sometimes. So no, I don't think there's anything that exists currently. Although I'm really tempted now just to go write a snippet that like does that, because actually setting types on the arguments and having it use. So the way that you would do that, actually, let's just prototype that real quick. The way that would happen would be I would find printf checked. Yeah, that's fine. Just give me any of these. I just want, here we go. So like here's a good one, right? So no, I would rather have one that has a constant argument for the format. No, this is the format on the DC get text. Yeah, that's not going to be helpful. So let's go find, wait, is that not, let me see, it's in printf. Yeah, okay, so format is way in there. Now, another format get text. Oh, are they all going to be that? Yeah, they are. That's their translation thing, isn't it? That's DC get text. Okay. It's going to get the translation out for that. So this is actually a great example, though. So here's a good one, right? Where in this particular calling convention, you can't actually just easily parse it, because you've actually got to get the fact that this format comes from this function, and you actually have to understand now about this function that you're going to get a message ID, you're going to look it up in a database. Now I assume this message ID is the format string message in particular, and so here Binja was actually pretty spot on, and it got the fact that there's one other argument, which is just this string here, which is coming from signal name. So even though we didn't quote unquote know the number of arguments, we either got lucky or we got that right. But yeah, and so in this particular, bash is using that for translation purposes. Oh, here's a good one. There we go. Here's our sprintf check with a format string baked into it. And there's 4 parameters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at this. I'm looking for one where we don't get it right. But even still, what you could do here is, from an API perspective, you would basically you need to know what are all the format string family of functions, what argument is the format string in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in snprintf check, for example. And then you're going to have to parse out and figure out what the parameters are. And probably you want to know, like, it's a string or it's a, %L, whatever. Like, you want to know the types of whatever's there. And then what you would do is you would override. Oh, I think, is that only in, I think it shows up in medium level IL. Override call type. There we go. You would come over here and you could actually change and say, like, no, for this particular format, this specific call of that function, we've actually got a char star stir1 and then uint64t int1 char star stir2 uint64t int2. What did I typo? Oh, unit. I do that a lot. Is that it? Is that not it? What did let me see here. Let's make sure. Oh yeah, that was working. Okay, hold on. Override call type. Okay. Oh, is this? No, hold on. int1, that should work, right? int1, char star string2, string1, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I did the order wrong, didn't I? Ah, man, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I totally was just doing that to see if y'all were paying attention, but nobody did catch that this was also off, right? The other string is at the end, and that's there. Okay. Hey, okay. Oh wow, it even was willing to accept that. Okay. So there we go, right? So that was what you would really want to see. Right, is you want to parse that out. But again, you have to kind of have this mapping now of which argument number and which parameter. I don't know. I still feel like just some like quick and dirty built-in thing that did that would be better than waiting for something perfect. But yes, you got the order wrong. Okay, yeah, you saw it. I think I fixed it, right? We got our string int string, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what the plugin would do. And should do. I need to make a note of that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's a plugin or a Python snippet or a built-in just kind of thing that we would run. That's maybe an example of a workflow, actually, where you want to be able to detect. No, I'm not sure what the right place for that is. Yeah, I gotta talk to the team about that. So, yay, it worked. Yeah, so like that would be a little plugin that would be worth doing. But good question, Ninja. Thanks for asking about that one. Because yeah, that's something that we should do a little bit better with. It'd be a little bit cleaner if I just looked for oh, there's no call reference. There's no reference to that. So this one, yeah, there's both the got and the PLT entry. So here it is. Yeah, so there's, and this is actually even a great example where apparently this printf check, ooh, I wonder, that's not a bad idea. I think because we have type libraries for these, you should actually, I wonder if you could do a hack where you basically look for every function with printf in the name, and if there is a parameter named format, and if it is variadic, yeah, that would be your logic, right? Like that was how you could actually implement that. That would actually be pretty cool to implement, and then a little bit less hacky. You wouldn't have to actually figure out this stuff. You would just rely on the type system. Be like, listen, do you already have a libc type information for me for which one is format? Like look for FMT or format or something like that, and then that would get you. Let's find another one. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Except then you have this business, right? Yeah. So again, that's why you have to check if it's actually variadic. Because if you have this like VA list, that's basically where your platform is defining how those variadic functions work, not actually with that like dot 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 representation, but there's this VA list structure, which has multiple arguments passed in that way. You can see the arg overflow area. So again, that's back to my previous rant on variadic functions. Have fun, but I do like the idea now. I kind of need to go home, but I kind of want to write that plugin real quick. I'm curious. So okay, y'all actually want to see me bang away on a plugin for a few minutes to see about fixing that up, or talk about other things, or do I go? I need like a poll button. So in the chat, let me know. Do I? Oh no, that's ridiculous. I just need a text editor. You can put in chat one for write printf family plugin snippet, whatever we end up doing. Other questions or discussion or end. How many people want to be done? I know, right? You get your choices. So put your votes. I'm actually gonna get a Coke. I need some caffeine, and I'll come back and we'll see. I haven't even looked. Do we have people watching? I know I've seen comments. So there's a few people. So yeah, y'all, your vote counts here, right? So let me know, or if you don't vote, you're voting for end. So let me know if you are interested in one of those other topics. We do have Ninja wants to see it. I might just count. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome, Ryan. No worries. I see. Maybe I'm overly confident, but I feel like I could actually implement one relatively quickly. But all right, sweet. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna go get a Coke and I'll be right back. We'll see. Oh, look, I even have like a be right back. Oh no, my button's broken. All right, well I'll be right back. Nah, if you want to see it, vote for it. I don't have to solve that problem. This is the one saying like a quick and dirty thing that actually be drinking things down. I like it. I mean, it's gonna be a snippet or a plugin with it too, but yeah, we'll do it. Oh man, see, it's not only gonna be a plugin, but Alex wants it to be a blog post. All right. I love that we got more votes than we have people watching the stream, according to YouTube's awesome stats. So it's clearly there's not a lot of choices here either, too. All right. I I'm actually kind of interested in this. I think this will be a fun thing. Okay, so let's just do format prettifier. That's not how you spell prettifier, is it? Plugin to clean up format string calls. And there's actually a couple new APIs that I want to, yeah, somebody's, I did say vote early, vote often, right? Earlier, I was talking about GitHub voting, but. Okay, so to clean up format string calls by parsing for variadic and format. All right, so let's kind of outline it first. We're going to, first let's check all of the functions in the binary. And actually, you know what? I should be doing this in code. Just Visual Studio Code. Get a real IDE, or well, real-ish. I know some people who believe these are real. Oops. Do I not have? Oh no. Where are my plugins? I need my Vim bindings. Okay. Maybe we're not using VS Code. Really? What? Oh, is it because restricted mode is on? No, this is trusted. Is that why? Cool, Visual Studio Code. You're go home, you're drunk. Okay. Back to Vim. Actually, is that syntax piloting on? Whatever, it's fine. For fmbv.functions, and this is again the kind of typical workflow. So here is, let's actually go back to that function list. Let's find one of these. Current function.name. Okay, so if printf in f.name, and now here's the thing we need to figure out, is this a variadic function? Like this one is not, but some of the other ones will be. So I can look in the function properties dialog. Is there a property specifically, or do I just check for, let's see, current function.params. Parameter vars, what's the last one? Right, so for this one, that's that, and then for like printf. Oh, right, that's the point. There's the actual function stuff. Okay. Okay, oh, right. The fact that it's variadic is going to show up in functional properties, I think, has variable arguments. Okay, so I need to figure out current function dot has variable arguments. Really? I love it when it's easy. Okay. All right, and f dot has variable arguments. That is literally, that's amazing. If is that, well, yeah, I can just treat it as a Boolean. It's a bool with confidence, magic, but still acts like a Boolean. Cool. Okay, so and so this should give us the functions that are variadic. Now, for each one of these functions, what we want to do is we want to find all of the places that that function is called. So current function dot caller sites, I believe is what I want. All right, this should give me every place where that function is called in, and I think I can get the medium level IL of that even, right? Or I can, okay, so what I can do is, yeah. There's another way to do this. So Peter was originally working on this workflow and added some APIs to make it even better. But I think it's caller sites. And if I pull one of these out, fine. Yeah, your generators are faster. I get it. I get it. They're more annoying for tinkering. Okay, ref dot. I think it's just that function. And then address, and so I can do function. All right, so what I'm going to do is iterate over all references to these functions. Actually, first, before I do that, I'm going to get out. Yes, I need to check if as a format param, right? So yes, we have to make sure. Do we have a type library? Do we know? Although presumably, if we're even getting it variadic, if it has variable arguments, we probably can assume that. So current function dot params sub 1 parameter vars 0 1. Wait, what? Oh no, I'm not in that function anymore. No wonder. Double click that. Okay. Dot name gives me what I want. Okay. So if not f dot okay. For I want to do this. Var in f dot parameter vars plural for var in f parameter vars if we'll just do a lane with like a boolean flag. Found is equal to false if f dot var if let's do if it exactly equals it. Yeah, f dot name equals format or var dot name equals fmt found equals true. Okay. If not found, continue. Okay, that means yeah, so now we've got a function which we believe to be variadic. We've got a format parameter, and oh, and the other thing we need to know is, actually no, what we need to do is found, let's do this, is equal to -1. I think I need to get the index out, or actually no, parameter vars. Yeah, I think I can just do, right, isn't it for var index in parameter vars? Is that how you do it? Should just be a count. No, there's a way to get, oh, no, I could just do the for loop over the range of it, I guess, right? For index in range len. Is that the way to do it? I feel like there's a better way to do it, and I'm just misremembering. For whatever reason, I get my JavaScript and Python mixed up when I'm doing it over that. So also, let's just check. Can we do len? Or is this one of those generator things that's not going to work? Len, do we have to call list on it first? I can. Okay. For index in range of that, if f dot per params equal to f dot parameter of ours. I'm tired of typing that. If params sub index dot name equals format or params sub index. Let's see, somebody put out. Oh, enumerate. Yeah, thank you. That would do it too. I think at this point I'll probably just keep going with this, but that's the other. That's the other way to do it. It's basically doing the exact same thing. Or params index equals fmt. I think I'm just gonna do found equals index. Let's just do it this way. All right, and now if found equals -1, continue. So if we didn't find it, we're going to bail out. Otherwise, we know we've got an index saved into found that is what the parameter number is. So now we can get, for example, at every call site, we can query the value of that parameter for that given function. So let's get all the cross references to those functions. We've got one here. What is that? Call sites. Caller sites. Current function dot call caller sites. Oops. All right. Okay. For ref in okay. Current. No, f is our function dot caller sites. All right, so let's get the medium level IL because and we're doing this on medium level IL for two reasons. One, because I just know the API better, and because it'll let me set the and then two, because it'll let me set the override. I think only at medium level right now. So, but then I believe it changing the type there will propagate to high level IL. We'll verify that. But so for ref in f.caller sites, ml m equals ref.function.get 0.function.mlil f. Yeah. Telling you, I know it's better. It's still f.get mlil bar. No, I don't want that. I want f.get llil at, and then I can get the. I'm going to assume, and this is generally true. The stuff I care about is just going to be calls, and we'll verify that. But get lil at ref.address. Actually, I think there's a way to get this. Hold on. Yeah, let's do. This is the thing I think that got improved. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I think there's a way. So I've got a reference. Let's go back over those references. Whatever. Current function dot caller sites zero reference. Okay, so what's oops. Oh wait. A.llil. Yeah, this is what he did. Look at this. This is so nice. This is so much better. So what I was about to do, I was about to like go through all the shenanigans, and it's just there. So actually, I could even do like a map on this, but whatever. We're gonna just do m equals ref.mlil. Boom, we've got it. Ignore all that stuff. So this is the medium level IL call to a function that we care about, where we are going to, and actually here if we do mlil is going to be the interesting one, right? It's mlil, yes. And now what we want to do is dot params. Yeah, that's what I was saying params before, because it's params in medium level IL. So so format is equal to m.params subindex. And that should be the parameter number that contains the format specifier. And now for a first pass, I'm going to be really dumb, and I'm just going to count parentheses. I'm not even going to be, well, I guess, hold on. Maybe there's a Python library. Parse format strings. This feels like a thing that, am I streaming still? Can y'all? Okay, I still see the stream going. My VM though is, my VM is offline. Okay. Y'all still there, right? Somebody let me know. Great, my video just freaked out. Okay, well, yeah, I'm still here, but like now the capture card broke. I'm not sure what's causing this, but I have noticed that that's the case. Except wait. Oh wow, whatever that was, it killed my. I actually usually use Bing. All right, my VM is just dead. Okay, I can bring a. Yeah. What's going on? Something's okay, hold on. I think I can get desktop H260. Wait, I don't even see my. Oh, there it is. I love how I'm frozen drinking something. Okay, I don't know that my video's working either. Like, wow, what was that? Yeah, everything froze up for no good reason. Hey, Josh, I've been trying to troubleshoot that. I don't know. Cool. I really have. It's been really hard not moving that whole time and making it hide my lips. It's quite the skill I've been practicing. All right, I don't know that y'all need to see my face, so I'll give this one try by unplugging and replugging just that capture card. And if that works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's turn. I'm telling you, restarting it. I don't know if this are so. I'm not sure if these are bugs in time for 3. No, I mean you, Valgrind. Listen, stay with me. I got this. I'm actually once I get going, I'm on a roll. I'm excited to do this. This script is. We've already gotten like halfway done. Okay, so I think we're working. Right? Yeah, y'all see my stuff. Okay. So we've got our formats. Okay, so let's do this. Params sub1 dot value dot value. Now there's a string. There's no way to get out the. Wait, should I do this? Am I a terrible person if I do this? Josh, you won't tell the other developers I did this, right? I mean, this works, right? Is there a dot count? I mean, right? I'm so tempted to do this. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I'll real quick, I'll pop open if I can do this without breaking things. Let's see. There we go. We'll bring out this and we'll search for Python library parse format string. Because like a bad parse strings using this opposite form. I know, like I want no, that's not really what I want. I mean, I could. I'm trying to think about the best way to do this. So like I was just like we have a couple different steps. Oh, you weren't. Oh, okay. So now here it is, Josh. It's no big deal. All I'm doing is I'm calling stir on my parameter directly instead of actually looking the string up. That's totally fine, right? But the other question now is how janky do I make my Python format string parsing? If I just do yeah, but because I want libc Python parse. Yeah, I understand how f strings work. Parse. Is there a way though? Parse type. Formats. No, you don't do format strings. Is there a library that will give me the types of parse? Let's see. Parse libc format string with Python. So yeah, Python does, but like, how does that help me, right? Like, can I get introspection to be like, hey, Python, here's a format specifier. You tell me what the argument types are? Because if I can, then yeah. Oh, actually, here, this is nice. Sort of. To locate. Okay, I mean, that's sort of it. Yeah, I understand. Thank you. Wow. No. You should feel bad. You, okay. I mean, these are a bunch of people with terrible answers, just like what I was gonna do. Um, Huh. Yeah, I mean, so here's a bunch of terrible answers. I might just yoink this. All right. I mean, we can whatever, like what could go wrong? Yeah, I thought about using eval. I actually considered that, like literally just YOLO it, and then when Python like fails and complains that I didn't give it a whatever type in the first argument, then I would know the type from that. But um, I think instead I'm going to do the simpler solution for now. So let's uh, let's just do this. Let's say args is equal to format stir format 1:(-1). Will that do what I want? I want to strip off the. Not that it really matters. I just want to strip off the first and the last. Yeah, because of the terribleness I'm doing with this, like just calling stir on the var for me. So dot count, and actually that really isn't necessary anyways because I'm only looking for the number of parentheses. And so we're just gonna have like this naive solution that is gonna get the number of arguments, and now I need to look up the one API that's gonna do all the magic. So, oh, is our network still down? That's fine because our documentation's offline. All right. I need to find override. I think it's no analysis scope. There's another one. What do we? Let me think. If I find a cross reference to this function and in medium level IL, I choose call type. Override call type. Call type. So this is, I mean, I can also just cheat and go look in the source code, which is what I'll totally do. But I like to look it up using the way that I would if I didn't have access to the source code, because I think that's fair. Nice. You've already written this exact plugin. Yeah, sweet. I'll do the percents now. Thank you. Where would I go? Calling convention. All right, I'm gonna phone a friend because Ryan's right outside and he built this feature. What's the override call type Python API name? We need to put the word override in the help docs for it because I can't find it. It might be adjust. Adjust. I think you're right. No, that's right. It's adjust call type or something like that. I searched for call type too, but I'll make a note of it. What's that? Set call type adjustment. Okay. Ask the experts. Although it's funny because actually this one should have found it. It did. I just scrolled too fast past it. Yes. So set call type adjustment is the API that we're going to want to use. And we need an address and to adjust the type, and that's a union, the type, it's just a type, and then an optional arch, which we don't have to worry about. Okay, so the type is going to be the old type, and we're going to add new stuff. And I think, let's actually check this out, because I think the user guide has a section specifically on using the API to change the type of a function. So let's see, structure access, applying types to structures, using the API. Simple type creation, creating types in the type parser. One of these is like, yeah, type modification. Sometimes it's desired to modify a type which has already been registered. Like, yeah, like say I've got a type for a function and I want to get a mutable version of that type, and then I want to append some new types to it. Exactly. Okay, perfect. So let's kind of walk through this now. So like at this particular, well, that's a bad example. Let's find one like this. Okay, so here at this call, we are going to get the actual type. It just says, yeah, it's variadic, but we're gonna make it not variadic, and we're going to replace this last thing with the actual number that we want to parse out of this. All right, so that will be, oh, it's gonna be a lovely ride home tonight. Look at the sun setting out the window. It's so nice. Oh, I need to lights. Oof, it's a little bright. There we go. Turn the lights up as the sun goes down. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do current function dot set call type adjustment. Okay, so that's the API I'm going to use, but let's look at this. We're going to get the types and the name of the type. So, actually, I'm not sure. So current function type tokens. Now I want to see, how do I set the current function type? Let's see, that's the question. So if I want to use the API to set the function type, let's just look for type. Oh, that's going to be, yeah. Oh, set user type. Yeah, so, but the arguments, oh, I'm a fool. I can take the string of this, right? I can do it as a string. I was going to build like this whole type object and do it all that way. I don't got to do that. I can literally do like, right? Is this going to give me? Oh, sure. That's a little annoying. We need to, instruction text token should have a stir on each one of them, right? I shouldn't have to do this. Is it that, or is it the other way around? That was it. Okay. So this, right, but what I want is, yeah, I'll be getting out this. Perfect. So here is a valid parsable thing. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace, okay, yeah, this will work. This will work. Oh, what did I do? Something, okay. Nothing to see here. So let's get, let's do exactly that. So join map stir, it's f is our function, dot type tokens. Okay, so f type. So here's our current one. And now we're going to do, so for each call site, we're going to have a different number of parameters, right? Ours is going to change, right, for each one. So what we're going to do is we are going to replace, so let's see, we're going to take a string for I in range args, right? So we know the number of arguments. So for each one, we're going to take our new types equals the empty string, and we're going to append, there's a way to do this cleanly, but I'm just going to add new types plus equal to arg plus stir I, right? So we're just going to add an argument number, or var, we'll call it var arg. So it's obvious that it's a var arg that we added. And we're not going to add, so for now, we're just going to say int32t. We're just going to add the same type for all of them, right? So as an enhancement, as we done this more, we would actually figure out, like, okay, what we would want to use that regex, and we'll pull out the exact actual format specifier, look that up in a table that would just say which particular type that we want to do, and then we'd put that type here. But for now, we're just going to like prototype it with, like, let's just add the right number and then the count. So that's the new types plus that. I feel like there's probably a way to do this with join and a comma so that you don't have to do it this way, but I'm gonna do it this way. Suggestions welcome. New types equals new types -1. So just chop off that last comma. And then I should be able to say m dot function, which is going to be the, if I can spell it right, it's going to be the, like one of these medium, it's going to be this in medium of IL, so current medium of IL 3. It'll be this call here, dot function dot set call. Now I think I have to do, there's another function to get the native function where that other API lives. Is, what's the name of the property? Or is it not just that function? Is there another one? Hold on, let's see. Function is MLIL function. I know there's a way to get the parent function from. Oh, yeah, okay, so I gotta get the function first. Let's look up medium of IL function. And I want to find the word function. What could go wrong? Okay, finalize, get basic block at, get liveness. Oh yeah, all sorts of cool APIs there. Dot high level layout. Okay, IL form. Instructions, all knowns. Oh, source function. That's what I'm looking for. Hey Fox, welcome. I'm doing well. We are writing a plugin. It's one that's already been written. Break already mentioned in chat they've already written it, but we're doing a plugin that will basically automatically annotate all of the variadic functions okay, so source operand. That's something else. Source function. Dot function. Dot source function. Okay, so source function dot set user call. Let me just look this up. Shoot, I forgot already. Set call type adjustment. Set call type. Okay, so we're gonna call set call call type. This is where having that actual ID would be better. Set call type adjustment. And then it's going to take the address, and it's just ref dot address, and the new string is the one that we're just going to take the. So let's see. Type string is going to be equal to. So I don't want to change f type dot. So I'm trying to remember Python. If I call dot replace, b equals a dot replace f comma x b a. Okay, good. That'll leave the original alone. I just want to make sure. I thought strings were immutable in Python. That's like a major feature, right? But sometimes I forget. It surprises me. Okay, so that one dot replace dot 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 with new types, and log info I just replaced with new types. Make that a format. Okay, and then address type string. And now we find out what I broke. Okay, so let's close the big binary, and now restart and reopen files. I don't want to save it on this one, but if this plugin works after we rerun it, I do want to save it, right? Because it'll have made my format specifiers pretty. Let's add a little bit more logging too while I'm at it. So for example, I want to know log info found a function that looks very attic and print fe. f.me. I always forget to do that. Okay. So let's reopen the file. Let's let it. What I actually should have done too, I've got an error. So is it in my plugin or is it something else? No, the internet's not working. Yeah, I noticed. BV is not defined. Oh, right. Yeah. Let's actually put this in a function. Def prettify BV. What's this? What's the plugin register? Plugin register. I think it's just register. Yeah, so it's plugin command. Okay. Plugin commands. Register. Prettify. Is it just? Oh no, I have to give the text the name or whatever, right? All right, register. Name, description, and then the callable. Okay, so the name is prettify. Format. Proper. No. Yes. Correct number of arguments for format string functions. Call prettify, and that will be passed into BV, which will actually start all this. And actually, because my analysis finished, let's save a BNDB for that file. And now I'm going to open the BNDB, restart, and see if my plugin loads. And see, that's the part I like how it reloads it. Okay, so now my plugin didn't call, but now prettify format. Ooh, that's brutal. Yeah. Prettify. Let's try that for next time. But okay. So let's go find one of our printf calls that should get prettified. I mean, sure, like in this case, it's not going to change it a whole lot, but what we will see is we'll see that become a named argument. Oh, nice. Man, Fox, you should have invited me. I love Norway. My visit there this summer was fun. Okay, so I've called prettify, and okay, I was going to copy this address, and now we'll call prettify, and we find my bugs, at least one of them. Okay. Expected parameter declare parse type string set called. Oh, okay. So, all right, we should have some outputs. So we found snprintf check. I just replaced with, and then nothing. Okay, well that's a problem. If we didn't actually replace, then the type string type parser is going to fail. New types. New type format. Type string. Let's just change this to type string and see what we get. Oops. Too many fast fingering. Prettify. Okay, so the new type string is snprintf check format. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, so some bug is in my something in here is not right. So range range len args. Oops. No, hold on. Args is a count. Okay, so something about here is wrong. So let's go to that particular function, snprintf check. Go snprintf check, and I'll try to not. How did I manage to get one of them right? I blame the keyboard. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. It's giving me all the options. I think I want the PLT, right? I do. Okay, so what we're failing on is I've got to. Oh, okay, here. I guess I could put some login in here. Fixing up cross-reference at ref.address. Don't ask me why I always forget to put the F when I'm typing it. Ref.address. Actually, let's throw it in hex to make it. think I have to do that. Let's try this. You know what? It actually wasn't too expensive. There is incredibly cheap airfare from Norwegian Air, or no, from Fly Norse. Fly Norse Airlines has really cheap direct flights from Oslo to Orlando. So if you want to come visit Florida too, it's a good trip. But yeah, I don't think I knew you were there at the time. But I would have, and I actually flew over with stickers too. I was gonna. So found a crosshair. Okay, so first of all, I don't need the hex. Hex is doing that. 5B701. So I've got a call here. This is the one that's being. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a problem. Right. I didn't account for that case. So I need to say, first of all, yeah, I can basically just say if args is greater than 0. And do all that in there. That's my bug. Is that there's plenty of times where I don't actually know the format's actually, and this is a good example where you can build like a dumb version of it, and then you might want to go back and actually figure out, that's really just coming from all this, and walk back and try to figure that stuff out. You can do those with the SSA API. It's pretty straightforward. But okay, so let's try it again. Let's restart. Oh, is it 2 hours already? I mean, I started late, so I had fun though. Once I get writing a plugin now, I get excited. Oh, it's doing something. It's going over all these cross references. Oh. Oh wow. Okay, so let's find one. Var 0, 1, 2. I mean, that. Oh, there we go. I just had to refresh the display. Yeah, okay, that was just UI bugs. So hey, our script is lame, but done. Right? So the initial version is basically complete. We have successfully updated all of our args for. I like that we didn't have to hard code it though. I really like that idea. I've kind of thought it would be annoying to do all the other stuff, but being able to just say, oh, it's variadic, and oh, it has a parameter format, and doing it that way, it kind of makes a lot of sense. Yeah, well, you better complain to that ciphertext guy though. He clearly doesn't know what he's talking about if he's making claims about what's happening. All right. Cool. Well, there's a little plugin. I will I might work on it a little bit more to specifically add that regular expression or some of the basic type parsing. SegBreak, if you want to send it to me, that'd be great too. If you've got it. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. Next stream probably won't be Crazy Bomb, but it probably will be an office. You missed it, Fox, earlier. We moved into a new office, hence the background. And it's a little cramped, and we haven't, it's a mess out there. We literally yesterday moved in. I spent most of the afternoon today resetting up the whole stream configuration because there's a lot of moving parts for that. And my switchers stopped working halfway through the stream. I'm not sure why. Wait, does this still not work? Yeah, it still doesn't work. I don't know why. We'll reboot the box. But next week we'll showcase the office a little bit, and maybe we'll see where this plugin ended up. But fun time. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll catch you, I guess, next two weeks. 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Oh, actually no, we won't catch me 2 weeks from now, because 2 weeks from now I'm gonna be in Los Angeles. So if you're not already familiar with Hackasat, right, hold up, let me fix this. Man, VM losing connectivity. But yes, in exactly 2 weeks, I will be here hosting Hackasat. So I'll be on that stream instead. So I won't be streaming here. But yeah, cool. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. See you on the Hackasat stream if you watch that. And I don't know if I'll do exactly what I'll do here in person, whether I'll switch to next week or 3 weeks from now or something, but we'll figure it out. So cool. Catch you guys later.